quick break. Just to let you guys know, the book is out. My book is out, and I'm super excited. It's called Parents Are Greatest Teachers. It's on sale on Amazon, so you can now grab your copy. Do leave me a review on Amazon, comment, DM me if you have any questions, and let's keep on sharing our stories. And now, let's go back to our episode.
Hello, everyone. This is your host, Alex Balgood, and this is Sleep of Health. Today, we have one of my amazing mentors, Jack Montiel. He is a massage therapist instructor, and he's been treating patients for over 10 years. And we're going to be talking about fascia today. So if you have no idea what that is, we're going to dive into all that. And we're going to answer some really, really cool questions. Welcome, Jack.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Yes. So, and we're going to be talking about fascia. But before that, tell us a little bit about your story and how you get to be this amazing, amazing massage therapist.
Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. I started as a massage therapist in 2009. So you said about 10 years ago? Yeah, so over 10 years, 13 years. So actually January would be about 13 years.
Nice.
So I started in 2009. That's when the whole journey professionally began. And then I've just been keeping it going ever since, haven't stopped. So I'm teaching now. So that's been a different journey, but it's been good.
Nice.
How I got started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How I got started? I started in 2009, right? But I think everything kind of clicked along the way. When I was a kid, though, I would like massage my parents. Typical little something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But massaging my parents, step on their backs. I weighed like 80, 90 pounds, 70 pounds. So just stepping on their backs was I was like the perfect weight for that, So, in my family, like holistic health or healing has always been like more of the approach, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
Herbs and remedies, natural remedies, things like that. So so just 2009, going to school, everything kind of just clicked and kind of just kept on going with it.
Nice. I think we all start in some sort of way like that, like on how we grew up with. Same here. My grandma will always gives us some sort of like herb remedies. My mom too.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a cough, you do all these home remedies to get rid of it as opposed to go to the doctor. Obviously sometimes you do need to go to the doctor, and that's granted.
Yeah.
So definitely. The
Vicks vapor rubs is a lot though.
Yes,
Vicks
like a lot of mental. Yeah.
The mint, right? The menthol.
Yeah, all those great, amazing things that our families use. Today, we're talking about fascia. And for everybody that has no clue, tell us a little bit about fascia and obviously why. I know our biggest organ is our skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't even have that clue that it's our biggest organ. We should be taking care of it as we take care of our heart, of our lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about fascia, what it is, how it comes to play in our everyday life, and why it's important to take care of it.
All right, yeah. So fascia is pretty much I don't know. I see it different ways, but I try to always just be as imaginative as I can. But fascia is pretty much the thing that there's like a dictionary description, that you'll find, but then it's pretty much the thing that lines, separates, but also connects everything in the body. If you cut into like so you have like superficial fascia, like it's on the muscle, like under the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have deeper layers, and then you have fascia that's actually like around your organs and your nerves, every cell, every fiber. Uh, so it's pretty much surrounds everything. It gives everything its integrity, its shape. So it supports it. It gives it like support or like structure. It gives it structure. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll describe like meat, like a ground beef, just like a muscle, like a bicep. They'll describe it like just without fascia, it would just be a slab of slob meat, right? But then fascia gives it that shape. But it also separates it from the muscles that are deeper to it or behind it on the side of it. So it'll kind of give it a definition. Um, but then, so as far as a muscle, but then it'll also um, separate each fiber. So picture like a rope. A rope is like one rope,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's a bunch of little strings put together to make that one rope, right? So it looks like one rope, but it's all separate little pieces divided, but working as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So it does that, and then there's structures that are more connected than others, like from head to toe, basically. So you're connected. So pretty much, basically, if I was wearing like a onesie, right, and
Mm-hmm.
if I pull on the pant on the part on my leg, pull like on my shoulder or something like that. So it's just kind of representing how it's connected. Um, so if there's any, um, you know, tension here on the lower, it'll just basically affect the upper. So it's just kind of like a chain, not a chain reaction, but it's gonna have a relationship together.
Right. It will affect. I like the analogy when you always talk about, making a bed and you have the top sheet and the bottom sheet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So separating the two layers, right? Yeah, like so sometimes like those things will kind of they're supposed to move freely, like the top sheet, the bottom sheet,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll get kind of stuck, type of thing. So as what we do as manual therapy, we kind of help that glide or that relationship a little bit smoother um, by creating, making it less sticky. But but it's but yeah, it's separating the two layers basically. Because a lot of times what happens is it'll get really stuck, whatever, and then everything will just move as one instead of moving separately. So thank you for the reminder of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what when it gets stuck, right? Um, it's like when we're like sitting too long or standing up too long, when we're in some sort of a position for such a long time, our fascia or superficial skin and our deeper skin starts getting like sticky to each other. That's when we get pain. Sometimes like we might have like shoulder pain or like back
Mm-hmm.
pain and all that. I love that these are things that are kind of like easily fixed or improved by
Mm-hmm.
just getting a massage. How massage and fascia work together? Like, what is important to? Because I know a lot of people see like massage as a luxury at times, but
Mm-hmm.
massages are like great. It has a lot of benefits, and especially with fascia, what are the great benefits to actually get a massage to get that all the skin moving that sometimes we are in one position for too long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially these days, right? We're always like, from the computer, stationary,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll just that time when the clock will just keep on winding down. So your fascia pretty much has like this memory, so to where it gets, it gets like used to being in that position. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're always stationary for 8 hours, 10 hours, and then we go run for 30 minutes, like our body's still more adapted to this position than it is to like a running or even like a standing upright position, right? Sometimes we're kind of like being rounded forward or kind of, so that kind of has that memory to where, in a sense, like your body or your fascia is like saying, all right, well, we're always in this position, so I'm gonna make it easier for you. I'm just gonna go ahead and like kind of stay in this position. That way, you know, you're gonna be back here again tomorrow. So we'll just stay here. This is easier. So, you know, being stationary is gonna kind of get those patterns going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even so, that's one way that the fascia is gonna kind of get distorted,
Mm-hmm.
or there's gonna be some issues there. But also even like if there's overuse, so say like an athlete, they're overly using their bodies,
Mm-hmm.
repetitive, you know, basketball or shooting or soccer, kicking the ball. Um, there's going to be a lot of wear and tear in just that area of the body or that fascia.
Mm-hmm.
So to where it's to get overuse. So there's another thing. So basically, it's too stationary or overuse.
Okay.
Uh, that's going to affect that fascia.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, yeah, massage is more on the luxury and relaxing, thing like that. So it does do a lot on the nervous system, and fascia does work with the nervous system as well, to where trauma is not just physical; it can also be like emotional, like to where certain uh, situations in your life can affect to where your body receives it as trauma. So till we start to kind of like carry ourselves a little bit differently, and then that's going to create more tension. Your body's not going to know how to tell the difference between like a physical pain or emotional pain, so it's going to be holding it, you know, in certain areas. So now we call it the pectoralis major, but now we're just maybe just fashion that area, or or maybe it's just also like, you know, something just that we're just we're scared, we're kind of closed off a little bit. So it'll affect the body, you know, even sometimes like how you're feeling or what you're thinking, basically. Um,
Right. That's super cool that you mentioned that it's connected to our nerve system. I know having um what's it called, sorry, the treatment that you do with fascia, myofascia treatment,
mhm.
that's the word. And
Myofascial release.
yeah, and sometimes it is very kind of like painful at times, but it
Mhm.
helps release those very stuck places, right? Tell us a little bit about that. I know a lot of people always go for like, I want deep tissue, or I just
Mhm.
want to like, a little bit
Swedish.
Swedish and
Yeah.
just to relax. But I think myofascial mobilization, I think it's really, really important because as you
Mhm.
said, we're working here with the nerve system.
Mhm. Yeah. No. Yeah. Pretty much it. Yeah. So again, like kind of you mentioned earlier about like people get massage for like a luxury. So you know that's all fine. But working with that fascia itself, you can get a lot of those things as well.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, but that's working with the fascia, like that's more, again, certain areas are going to be a little bit more overused. There's going to be like more restrictions on some areas than others. So I'm sorry, your question was working with the fascia, right? Like how,
Yes, why it's important to not just only ask for like deep tissue or
oh, I got you.
Swedish,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
getting some actually myofascial work within your massage is important because
Yeah.
now we're like working with the nerve system. So we're waking up those nerves that get like maybe stuck or like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of times, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just want to make sure clarify. But a lot of times, yeah, we go in for like a Swedish, so which is good for circulation, you know, relaxing stress. But fascia is basically what's holding all that, as we mentioned earlier, like holding everything together.
Mm-hmm.
If we kind of set our intentions on that, we can do the rest of the things as well. And what happens a lot of times, like within that the fascial system, or that whole system, with right, there's like these little trigger points that'll form. So it'll be sending messages of pain to your brain. So again, with that nervous system. So
Mm-hmm.
now that message that is normally, you know, healthy and fine and strong, now there's like a distorted message, which is, it could be like pain, or maybe a lack of function. So now your body is again, it's hindered, or it's tampered with. Basically, it's there's yeah, it's tampered with. It's compromised.
Right, right.
So that'll affect like how you move and how you can walk, stand, basically.
Mm-hmm. Little
So
things
as a massage
like that.
therapist, sorry, go ahead.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
So as a massage therapist, we kind of go in there and kind of again unstick those things. We kind of get things moving a little bit easier, a little bit smoother. Picture massage as an oil change. Regularly got to change the oil in your car. If you don't change it, you just your cars will keep on running, but probably make a couple more some sounds, or it's a little rougher, or it's gonna be check engine lights will be on or something, to where it's like saying, hey, you know, give
And
me
that
some negative.
happens to us, like our knees start clicking, or
Yeah.
shoulder gets like a little stuck, or
Hmm.
back gets tight, and just because of the positions that we hold for so long. Yeah,
Yeah.
getting a massage is always like super, super great. And talking about compromise fascia, one of the things that it really fascinated to me when I was in school, and you will explain how there's really very little awareness when people get some sort of like plastic surgery or just any surgery in general. Because me myself, I broke my elbow when I was 11, and I know the fascia, or the superficial skin on my elbow, really never recovered because I never like treated right. And especially when it comes down to like plastic surgery, can you tell us exactly kind of how it will work when people get a little bit of a tummy tuck or like neck
Scars.
surgery? What exactly is happening to the fascia? Because on the outside you're gonna look amazing, right? You're gonna be looking like 10 years, 15 years younger. But
Yeah.
exactly what is happening to our body when we cut things, we strain up things? Tell us maybe like an example of how you think the fascia is getting compromised.
Yeah. How exactly? I mean, and that's very true. A lot more these days, right? I probably need a little some like get a little. No, just kidding. No, but especially more these days, right? But I'm not sure if I can say exactly what happens, but I mean, pretty much the way I see it is just like, you have a nice sheet or a blanket, and then we're talking about scar tissue, right? When somebody has like surgery, basically
Mhm,
now this whole piece that's connected is now cut, compromised, and then now pretty much we're gonna kind of pull a little bit from this end, a little bit from this end. We're gonna try to pull it together, and then make it like one whole piece again.
mhm,
But yeah, cutting into that kind of just like it is gonna take some type of connection away from that, your brain and that area of your body, whatever's getting compromised.
mhm,
But what is kind of like essentially happening, I mean, if you cut like we talked about a sheet or a blanket earlier, if you cut a hole or a slit in that blanket and that sheet, and then you sew it together, like it's gonna look the same. It's gonna look probably sturdy, or a whole piece. It's gonna look good. Kind of like we're talking about this pulling the skin,
mhm,
but it is gonna be compromised, and it's gonna be some pull. Say it was a nicely fitted, like a fitted sheet or like a fitted something, and then like it's not gonna be as fitted because now it was fitted for like a twin size bed or a full bed, and then now just that little bit is gonna affect how snug it is, or how free you can move, like when you take it off, when you put it back on. So it's compromised, so it's going to affect it, like obviously, like in its um I guess like it's city, I think, but also um like the connection to it, to your brain, basically, like
yeah,
of you with that body, part of your body.
right. I think that's like awesome. Like when you actually talked to us in school a while back, and on how we don't think about those things, right? We just go to the doctor, and you want to kind of like get rid of that double chin, or like do some tummy tuck and stuff like that. And it's great. I'm sure some people really wants to have it, but definitely you do your research, because now once you cut in any part of your body, now, as you said, it gets compromised. So now you're actually, from the outside, it's going to look amazing. But from the inside, now, as you said, as the amazing sheet that it was a perfect sheet, but now we cut through it, we kind of like pull together. And now on the inside, that's when things are like not working properly, not, not having the normal connection that your nerve system had with your brain.
Mhm.
And then and that's when it starts looking like a little stiff, like you're not natural, because now things are not moving.
You can't smile as much.
You can't smile as much,
Right.
and it creates all that scar tissue that we don't want. What's the scar tissue actually does to our fascia?
Scar tissue. Real quick. Luckily, it's the outside that counts, though, right? Luckily. Uh,
The
what is
inside, that's what counts. So yes, yes.
what does scar tissue do to the fascia?
Right.
Well, it's. I mean, it's just like a stopping in it. It's just like a dull. It's a compromise. Like it's not gonna be as connected to the rest, or it's not a feel less connected to the rest, probably. But it is. It just messes with it to where if like you could do a lot of things. Like they say, the best time to plant a tree is 25 years ago. The next time is the second best time is today. So pretty much like the sooner you can work on a scar, the better. Versus 20 years, 25 years later, you can still have an effect on it and make a lot of improvement if somebody, but now it's somebody who wants to improve on that. So, but now we're talking about that specific thing. We already have our nutrition, we already have our mental health, and we already have other emotions, other things that we got to focus on. But as far as that scar tissue itself, um, by manually messing with that scar, we can have some improvement on it. But it is going to require work, and consistency, and also just also movement. A lot of times we stop moving, we stop. Our body needs that, and we're going to move differently. Usually whenever there's like some type of compromise on it, we're going to move a little bit differently. If there's a pain, we're going to move a little bit differently to avoid feeling that pain. So if me standing up straight is going to hurt, I'm gonna stop about right here, and I'll probably be like, well, this for me now. And then now every time I turn, now everything's gonna kind of, there's gonna be a lot of, you know what I mean, compromise, a lot of, what's the word again?
Yeah, like I think like a lot of once something is not like moving properly, I think
Mhm.
it's kind of like a chain reaction. So,
Yeah,
so
I'm thinking
now
of. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
so yeah,
Compensate.
one of those questions that I always got was like, I have like all this scarring from surgery, and now we're not talking about like plastic surgery, because they actually do try to make this scarring the less visible as they can, which is great because obviously it's plastic surgery. But
Mhm.
when you get like some sort of like car accident or like a freaky accident, you fell from a
Mhm.
stairs or whatever, now you have like crazy scarring on your thigh or on your leg or on your arm or chest or whatever it is. And people, as you said, all the scarring, because sometimes a lot of people don't take care of it as soon as they can. Later on in time, the scarring or the fascia that we're talking about that is gets compromised. Now it's creating them pain. Now it's creating them
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
move differently. And I like that you say that, you have two times in life, right? When it happened and today. So
Mhm.
for everybody that's listening out there and that has like a crazy scar, right? I have one in my elbow. I'm sure like a lot of people has some sort of one scar that they wanted to look better or feel better,
Mhm.
or have some sort of better mobility. know that you could actually start today, even by just rubbing it by yourself, or reaching out to a professional like Jack. Do you get a lot of patients that come to you to kind of like help out on those carryings for like from crazy surgeries that might change their posture or create other problems that they're like, no, I need to fix this?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. The word I was looking for earlier was compensate. I don't know why it was like I was like, where's that word at? But compensate. We start to compensate after like certain surgical stuff or certain scar, all that stuff. We start to compensate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so as we mentioned earlier too, like how you're basically connected from head to toe. So it could be like a simple scar from on your ankle that you broke you had ankle surgery, or you had something on your lower leg, but it could be affecting like your shoulder or your neck or your back. Um, so to where you could mobilize that or help that. And it's a simple, we're pretty much trying to get the skin to move freer where that scar is at. So if we can do that simply, then we can improve that area, how it moves, and then also maybe like hopefully like a shoulder pain by just relieving that. So and again, it's consistency. So to where, say if it was like a 20-year-old scar, like we started moving differently after those 20 years. We started not doing things, or and it happens, because it maybe takes up on our nervous system or emotions, and then we just stop to living things. But it's not so much of something's gonna be night. I mean, it could be night and day, but it's not gonna be to where it's like gone and everything's bad. You can't unbreak the arm or the elbow, or what I'm saying, you can't unsurgically remove the thing that happened. Um, but you can improve things, consistently, building strength, um, mobilizing in manual therapy, but moving, and it's researching too, learning about it. That always helps to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
get it in your mind first. That way you can kind of like, oh, okay, kind of clicks, and then you're not just doing the thing, you're understanding the thing.
Yeah, of
So,
course. Yeah, I think there's still so many things that just even like scientifically speaking on, just now we're talking about fascia, but like in the years before, we talk about, the muscles or like the movement. But knowing that now there's this thing called fascia that is not only on the outside of our body and inside, that connects our organs and things like that. I think it's really
mhm,
cool and exciting to know that we're looking at our body differently and how to heal it too. Because as you said, our superficial fascia, by getting a massage, we're doing so much for our body, right? Just like you
mhm,
said,
mhm,
we get kind of like this oil change, we
mhm.
need we need some movement in the body. um what do you think some people can do at home to that maybe they don't have time to go to an actual massage therapist, and that they want to do some sort of something for their skin, their fascia, or their actual maybe like a body part that they have injured and that they want to like get it moving, get it going?
Yeah, very important, right? Self-care, or just how you can empower yourself to just do those things and not, always have to pay somebody to just do this. A lot of times, like, not that it's a simple thing, but that information that you're being given or is what you're paying for all the time. Not so much of like the thing that's being done. Like, I try to make it as simple as possible. Um, you know, you, self myofascial release.
Mhm.
So the term using foam rolling, a tennis ball. I like using tennis balls. Um, finding that tender spot or whatever that area that's affected. Again, it could be signaling by pain, maybe a lack of function. So whatever, however it is, like you're determining that area needs that fascial work.
Mhm.
You can do something to where you're kind of doing like a deep trigger point release, like deep, releasing the trigger point within that fascial system. within that sheath, basically. You can do some type of like skin rolling to where you're like literally kind of like you're lifting the skin off the muscle basically, but picture you're separating the top layer in your on your bed. You know, you have all your
Mm-hmm.
sheets set up, but you're lifting the first sheet off the other sheet, separating the other sheet from the third sheet, and so on, just making sure they're all moving freely. So just something like this, you get the skin rolling to where you're rolling the skin. You can do some friction to where you're just kind of creating
Rubbing.
heat. Yeah, we're rubbing like dry, no lotion. So with myofascial release, you're not using any lotion. It's actually kind of like you're literally just almost trying to drag and peel the skin off of. But picture like on the back, picture on the neck, picture on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up the abdominals, the glutes, the hip area, the calves, the lower legs, the feet, the bottom of the feet. So everything you're just basically you're just stretching. You're not lengthening so much, but you're making it. You're creating a little bit more space within that by relieving that restriction. But at home, you can use a softball, tennis ball, yoga ball, foam roller. Um, Pick a spot. You could either just do it stationary. You could start to add movement to whatever area you're addressing. Um, but yeah, you can do a lot with a tennis ball.
Yeah. One of the things also
Scraping,
that I heard for fascia, it's dry brushing.
dry brushing. Yeah, I would say it could affect the fascia. I mean, also like a lot for lymphatic.
Oh, okay.
Basically creating like a lot of lymph movement.
Okay.
Uh, so a
Which
lot
is
of the time too, in that fascia will kind of get everything stuck,
mhm.
not moving as freely. So if we can help speed along that, like with that lymphatic, with more inflammation and things like that. So just more brushing those things along will help. What I like to use for the scraping, we did the instrument assisted
Mhm.
soft tissue mobilization. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
scraping basically that'll help kind of hydrate that area to kind of move a little bit. You get that bruisey feeling and all that, right? But um, you're able to
Move.
move a little bit freer.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are using cupping now, so cupping to relieve fascial restrictions, move the blood and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So cupping is another one. But by themselves, if people aren't using the friction will be one. The tennis ball, you can probably find a tennis ball right easily.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the back of a spoon, or I mean, a spoon or a butter knife, just kind of something not sharp, just kind of
Yes, let's put it
tenderize
out
that.
there. Something
Yeah,
not sharp.
not sharp. Well, yeah, being more mindful on thin skin,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I mean, it is hard, right? Because you see things, you hear things on the YouTube, right? Even probably hear you'd be like, oh yeah, all right, But definitely doing research, at the end of the day, just your research is kind of. That's why, like, I see people that they'll charge for information that they can just find on the internet, right? But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like when you invest in something, you are gonna appreciate it more. So just investing in whatever you are gonna, in your health, we're investing in what you're learning, what you're about to do to yourself, like investing in that way, you take it more seriously in a sense. You're
Invested on
more
it.
yeah, more invested. Exactly. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I think it's always good to do some self-care at home. But if you do need someone to explain you something or some more information, definitely look someone in your area massage therapist that could show you in person how to do things, how to release some sort of this fascia pain that people might have,
Mhm.
and have them show you exactly how to do certain things.
Yeah,
So
even
definitely.
stretching, stretching, yoga,
Mm-hmm.
um, all kinds of those things. Meditation, breathing. We talked about, mentioned like how, you know, it can be affected by emotions, stress, breathing. Like a lot of times we're stressed, we start to get in certain postures, we start to breathe a little bit more shallow. So breathing, meditation, all that's going to be it's going to help your, how your nervous system is operating. So just breathing, doing that, we're able to just kind of calm the whole thing down. So just breathing, like right now, somebody can just take a deep breath. That'll probably help it out.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, this has been amazing. Thank you for all the information today, Jack. Um, we're so happy you were able to connect with us. If anybody wants to get in contact with you, I will put all his information on the show notes. So if anyone has any other questions about fascia, or it's in the LA area and is looking for an amazing massage therapist, please get in contact with Jack. He's gonna definitely help you out. And also, just to put out there to all my listeners, my book it's already launched. So it's called Parents Our Greatest Teachers. It's now available on Amazon. So I am super excited. So if you want to check that out and read my new book, and leave me a review and a comment, tell me how much you like it or not, everything's welcome here. Check it out on Amazon. You can go online, research, look it up. It's called Parents Our Greatest Teachers. And I will put all that information on the show notes too. And if you want to look me up, you can always go to my website, alexvalgood.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message. I love to get in contact with all my listeners. So thank you for everything today, and have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you, Jack.
Awesome. Thank you. And congratulations on the book.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Thank you.